just at the internal thoracic artery. So internal thoracic artery is mainly it's arising from the inferior aspect of first part of subclavian artery. So here you can see in this diagram we can clear what is the first part or second part. So actually this is a scalenus anterior muscle which is dividing this subclavian artery into the first part and second part. So this is the first part and this is the second part of subclavian artery. So you can see here this is a right subclavian artery, for example we took it, and this is a thyrocervical trunk. So just opposite to the thyrocervical trunk only the internal thoracic artery arises from the first part of the subclavian artery. So you can see this is the internal thoracic artery. So that is what they are saying, the origin arises from the inferior aspect of first part of subclavian artery and opposite to the thyrocervical trunk and lies 2 cm above the sternal end of clavicle. So it exactly lies 2 cm above the sternal end of clavicle. So you can see here this is the first strip. So this is here we have a sternal end of clavicle. So exactly there this arises. And next you can see it descends medially and also downward behind the sternal end of clavicle. So later its course is it descends medially and downward behind the sternal end of clavicle and also first costal cartilage. So you can imagine that in the first costal cartilage behind it goes medially and runs vertically downward 2 cm from the lateral border of sternum till 6th intercostal space. So finally it will reach the 6th intercostal space and it ends by dividing into 2 terminal branches. So in the 6th intercostal space it forms a 2 terminal branches. So in this diagram you can clearly check out what I said, that once again I am going to repeat. So the internal thoracic artery is going to descend medially and downwards behind the sternal end of clavicle. So you can see this is the clavicle, it's sternal end, behind the sternal end it will move medially downwards and it will, and also behind the first costal cartilage also it will run, and next it will run vertically downwards 2 cm from lateral border of sternum till the 6th intercostal space and it ends by, in the 6th intercostal space it ends by dividing into 2 terminal branches. So this is the 6th intercostal space where it is dividing into 2 branches. You can see one is the musculophrenic branch and other one is the superior epigastric branch which later anastomoses with the inferior epigastric, and this musculophrenic branch is also having some sub branches. You can see that is a phrenic branch which anastomoses with the inferior phrenic artery. So this is what you can check out how the internal thoracic artery is passing. This is a course of the inferior thoracic artery. Now let us check out the relations, like what is present and what. So you can see the relations are above the first costal cartilage it is seen downwards, forward, medially, behind. So it is present exactly above the first costal cartilage. So here lies somewhere the first costal cartilage. So you can see it's just below the first costal cartilage. The artery runs downward to terminate in 6th intercostal space. This one we already know. So mainly it is present at the sternal end of clavicle. So you can see this is the clavicle, it is sternal end. So at the sternal end of clavicle you can find this internal thoracic artery, and also you can see at the internal jugular vein. You can also see the internal jugular vein where it is it will also be present somewhere over here. And next you have the brachiocephalic vein. So I will show the veins also. Wait. So in this diagram here you can see this is a internal jugular vein. Here you can see internal jugular vein, and also you can see the brachiocephalic vein. So this is a brachiocephalic. Yeah, here you can see this is a brachiocephalic vein. So this blue, and this is the brachiocephalic vein, and this is the internal jugular vein, and also the first costal cartilage will be here, the first costal cartilage. So these are all the structures which are like nearer to the internal thoracic artery. And also next you have the phrenic nerve. I will show that. So here you can see this is the right phrenic nerve and this is the left phrenic nerve. So here you can see the phrenic nerve is also passing by means of same, like nearer to this root. So these are all in relation with the internal thoracic artery. So here you can check out the phrenic nerve descends in front of cervical pleura. So exactly in front of the cervical pleura the phrenic nerve descends. So these are all, you can see these are all the relations of a internal thoracic artery, and below the first costal cartilage the artery run downwards to terminate in sixth intercostal space. The anteriorly it supplies, it has anterior branches and posterior branches, right? So anteriorly it has mainly the pectoralis major and sixth costal cartilage, and also external intercostal membrane and internal intercostal muscle, and first six intercostal nerves, so all the first six intercostal nerves, and posteriorly of course it will have the endothoracic fascia, the pleura up to the second or third costal cartilage. Below this level the stenocostalis separates the artery from pleura, and the artery mainly terminates in sixth intercostal space by dividing into superior epigastric and musculophrenic artery. Already I showed the diagram. So artery is also accompanied by two vena cava commitments which unite at the third costal cartilage and form the internal thoracic or internal mammary vein. So what they are saying, especially the artery terminates in intercostal the artery is also accompanied by two vena commitments which unite at third costal cartilage. So mainly at the third costal cartilage these arteries are also having two vena commitments. These vena commitments join at the third costal cartilage and they form the internal thoracic or internal mammary vein. So here in this diagram you can see this is the internal thoracic vein, or also called as internal mammary vein, which is mainly formed by fusion of two vena commitments which are in the third intercostal space. So you can see this internal mammary vein ends in the brachiocephalic vein, and it ends in this brachiocephalic vein at the inlet of thorax, and a chain of lymph nodes also lie along the artery. So even the lymph nodes are also lying along this artery. So here you can check out the different branches of internal thoracic artery. So first one is pericardiophrenic artery. So you can see here the pericardiophrenic artery, which is in a root of neck. It arises in the root of neck and accompany the phrenic nerve and reach the diaphragm and supply the pericardium and pleura. So this is the features of the pericardiophrenic artery. It is arising from the root of the neck, and side of it only you will have the phrenic nerve, and it reaches the diaphragm, and by reaching the diaphragm and also it supplies the pericardium and pleura. Mainly it supplies the pericardium and pleura. And next coming to mediastinal artery. So mediastinal artery is also a branch of internal thoracic artery, which is actually here I can't show that, I don't have that picture. So you can see here the mediastinal artery is a small irregular artery which mainly supplies the thymus. So it is mainly for thymus and in front of pericardium and fat in mediastinum. So it's actually present in front of the pericardium and also in the fat of mediastinum. Next you have two anterior intercostal arteries. Already we know what are two. So you can see here these are the anterior intercostal arteries. So there are two anterior intercostal arteries which are given to each of the upper six intercostal space. So you can see till the upper six intercostal space we'll have the anterior intercostal arteries, and we have the perforating branch which accompany the anterior cutaneous nerve. And in females the perforating branch at the 2, 3 and 4 space. In female you can see these are the perforating branches, especially in the 2, 3 and 4 space they form the mammary artery which are mainly supplying to the breast of the female. And next we have the superior epigastric artery. So you can see this is the superior epigastric artery which is behind the 7th costal cartilage. So you can see it's behind the 7th costal cartilage, and it enters the rectus sheath by passing between the sternal and costal slips of diaphragm. So mainly it supplies even the abdominal muscle like rectus sheath by passing through the sternal and costal slips of diaphragm. Next you have the musculophrenic artery. So you can see this is the musculophrenic artery. So the musculophrenic artery run downward behind 7th, 8th and 9th. So you can see 7th, 8th and 9th costal cartilages, and they may mainly give two anterior intercostal artery branch to give each of its 3 spaces. So you can see this musculophrenic artery also gives the anterior intercostal arteries, especially in the lower 7th, 8th and 9th spaces, and which are mainly supplying these 3 spaces, and they perforate the diaphragm near the 9th costal cartilage and terminate by anastomosing the artery on undersurface of diaphragm. And we also have internal thoracic artery, Yeah, of course, this is what you're doing with supply anterior thoracic and abdominal walls from clavicle to umbilicus. So you can see like the internal thoracic artery, all are this its branches. So this from where it starts, and these are all different branches. In according to the space, intercostal space, you have different arteries like pericardiophrenac artery, anterior intercostal artery, perforating branches, superior epigastric artery, musculophrenic artery. So according to the different spaces of intercostal space, you have different arteries which are mainly supplying. So wholly we can say that intercostal arteries supplying from the anterior thorax and or even the abdominal walls from the clavicle to the umbilicus. So completely beginning from the clavicle to the umbilicus, it has all its different branches supplying to the different muscles and also different structures over there. So this is all about the internal thoracic artery. Next we'll start with veins like azygos, hemiazygos, all those in the next video.